Hi, hello, I'm Sugar, and this is a +15 miss route that my team and I did. A link to the MDT export and my Twitch highlight of this run are in the description below. I'm a Night Fae, so we always have the skip available to us. If you do not have a Night Fae in the party, you can shroud around the first set of mobs to get to the first pull of 5 Drust Spike Claws. These mobs do a lot of damage to your tank, so use defensives on them. Our shaman dropped a spirit link here to help. Pull 2 is a Tirna villager, a Drust soul cleaver, and 2 Drust harvesters. Watch out for the blue cone frontal from the villager, and if you're targeted with overgrowth, try to get close to melee to be easily broken out. After this pack, we have our rogue sap the Drust harvester that is closest to the wall and walk past. If this mob is sapped, you don't need to shroud or invis pod. If your group does not have a sap available, use an invisibility pod. Pull 3 is 2 soul cleavers and 2 harvesters. While we engage those, we have a Night Fae open the gate to the mushroom room. In here, you'll find different types of mushrooms to give you buffs. You want to go with the green ones as they give you stats for 10 minutes. Pull 4 is 2 Drust Bowbreakers. We tend to focus one and cleave the other. After these, the first pride spawns. Once you have the pride buff, engage the boss. On Tyrannical, it's guaranteed to get at least 2 phases on the main boss Ingra, so focus the tree down and cleave onto the boss after the first swap. We save hero for when Ingra is first active. As for DPS CDs, use them as you see fit. I held mine for the boss hero combo since we had pride for the tree. Pulls 6 through 9 on the MDT map were the maze for us. There are a few things you can do here to be more efficient. Mark Mistcaller with a raid marker as you approach her and watch which way she goes through the maze. The path she takes is always the correct match for the first 2 doors so you don't have to guess. You can pull through the right wall to get a 2-room pull. If Mistcaller goes left instead of right, you'll end up with extra %, but that's fine. Since the maze is so RNG, there can be anywhere from 5 to 7 pulls going through it. We had our second pride after the dragon and pull 8. Since we had the pride buff, we pulled the next 2 packs together. Doing this is really dependent on which maze setup you get. Adjust for any lack of % at the end of the dungeon using the mobs around the last boss area. Mistcaller is up next, and generally if we have hero up, we will use it here, but the timing for hero didn't line up, so we did this boss without hero or pride. Some things we found helpful are having callouts for who is CCing the fox. It is vulnerable to pretty much all forms of CC. Traps, stuns, roots, blinds, earth grab totem, and hibernate are the ones my team utilize. We've also found it helpful to bring Mistcaller to whichever copy we need to bring down. That way, it's easier to see the dodgeball mechanic because we aren't having to look behind us and DPS the copy at the same time. Pull 11 spawns the 3rd pride after 2 mobs are down, and we decided to use hero here as it was just coming up because the timing didn't line up with the second boss. Using it here made getting through the pride a little faster. For pulls 12 and 13, we chain pulled because we still had a little bit of the pride buff up. The biggest thing you want to remember here is to interrupt the regeneration cast, dispel the poison as much as you can, and don't get knocked off. Pull 14 gives us our 4th pride buff, but we still had pull 15 between us and the boss, so we used pride on pull 15 and then went over to the other side of the map for pulls 16 and 17. We do this to spawn the 5th Prideful, so we'll have the full uptime of the buff on the boss. We also wanted to make sure we had the full Prideful buff for Tredova because we didn't have our hero up yet and ended up killing the boss before it came up. So in hindsight, we might have saved the hero we used back on pull 11. The longer the Tredova fight goes on, the harder it gets. We try to group up the adds and move away from each other before the mind link, but it's a fight that has a lot of mechanics and movement going on, and you can only do so much. I hope you found this guide helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Okay, bye!